Hello again, hopefully. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio with a 12 by 16 inch canvas and some kind of wild ideas. I saw somebody use some fluorescence, and I have Colourarte products, Vivid Intense, and other colors, Primary Elements and Prizm pours, and they're pretty intense too. So we're going to give it a shot. I didn't know that I liked the neons as much as I do, but I fell right in love with that picture. I'm not sure who did it, but it had a lot of green in it. So I'm going to try and give it a shot. Now, rather than use all of my Amsterdam White that I have mixed with Floetrol and GAC 800, I'm going to use the base layer around the outside edge of my Artist Loft White, which is much thinner, and usually I use it just to prime canvases. And then I'm going to put a puddle in the center. And I want to drag that in a little bit so I make sure it's covered. I'm not going to worry about my edges. If I had covered the canvas and had it dry in advance, I'd still put a puddle in the center and need to have something damp. So let's just get on with it. I thought about using gold, but I don't think it's going to happen. I do need enough paint, but I usually make up for that by using the colors. Now you could do this with a bloom technique too, I'm sure. And it's my only painting today, and it's probably my last painting today. At least that's what I think at the moment. So I'm not going to worry too much about making a mess. And I'm going to start with some Vivid Intense yellow-green, which is actually pretty liquidous from the way it sounds, which is surprising since I mix with... No, that's better. Since I usually mix with Vivid Polypore and some GAC 800, this is Fandango, much thicker, very similar color. I want to go with similar colors, but I do have some triple sec, which is nice and bright, so I thought that might be a good option. Then I'm going to move on to Cerulean Blue, which is kind of crazy. I could do some turquoise, but I think I'm going to restrain myself a little bit. And that's a Prizm pour, and the colors will be listed and they're in the description under the video. This is Parrot Wing. It's another Prizm pour. Another very similar to Cerulean Blue. I think I want a much brighter color than that, and I have one called Snapdragon. And it's a primary element. Hopefully it'll open. That's a great color when it comes out. Then I've got Vivid Rouge Violet, which is, I'm not sure whether it's a Prizm pour or a Vivid Intense. And I'm going to use some of the Fluorescent Pink. It's a Vivid Intense. And since I've got plenty of Carnation, I'm going to use some of it too. I'm just going to keep going with my rainbow colors. This is Jasmine. This is a primary element. The Carnation, Pink Carnation, is a Prizm pour. I might put some green at the end too. I'm going to use my Orange Crush. And some Sour Lemon with Orange Crush in it. And I kind of want some yellow. And what do I have for yellow? I have Tuscan Sun. It's not that dissimilar from the... But it is begging me, if I want more green, I better put it in now, because I don't think otherwise I'm going to get any down in this other zone. And I don't usually use white cell activator, but I'm feeling brazen. Well, I'm a little trepidatious actually, but I'll get a few things out of my way so I have some elbow room. 3 or 4 anyway. Okay, so I'm going to throw that spatula in the bucket and use the spatula that I've got right here, and I'm going to split the difference. I really want black. I really, really want black. I'm going to use black. Go figure. Maybe I'll use black and white, because that's my thing. I like to use at least 2. And I contemplated using some gold, and I decided not to. I think I could tip this around, and the colors are so pretty it really wouldn't make any difference. Alright, my white is shaken. My black is shaken. In case I change my mind about the gold, now it's shaken. Australian Floetrol. And Amsterdam White and Amsterdam Black. And hopefully there's enough cell activator there. I want to be able to have enough paint left to tip this, but not so much that I lose a whole lot when I do. So that's a nice start. I don't know why people don't scrape their blades or swipe tools off on the canvas, because it's not like you're not going to be tipping it off anyway at some point. So I'm going to try and do the opposite configuration. Not that it makes any difference, I'm just weird like that. And we'll see how many swipes it takes. So that's so far pretty good also. I'm not sure about this. This might get tipped away. And I'm going to grab a Princeton Artful Catalyst spatula and pick up the paint that's already falling over. Usually I have a scrape dish. So the black and white is working well in my opinion. I like how, not the wrong side, you silly woman. Let me wipe this off and start again. I'm still tempted by the gold. Now it's wet. Good thing I have paint rag pants. Trying to do a different pattern every time. Stuck my hand right in the painting. Slow and easy wins this race. I start pushing my blade against the edge of the canvas. That's wild. And I probably have a small tool that I can use to turn this corner that's got weird stuff happening into more cells. I've got a little tiny palette knife, well, a little tiny spatula. I do the same exact thing. And I suppose I could tip, I'm going to try and tip it, and if I don't like what's happening, I'm going to do something I did the other day, which is save it. All right, so scrape off on the canvas, Priscilla, like you told everybody you were going to do. Yes, she's talking to herself again. I'm going to take any paint I have on this spatula rather than wipe it off anywhere else. I might as well wipe it off on the canvas. And then I can clean it on my rag, and my rag won't be quite as painty. Clean your tools as you go along. You'll be much happier in the long run. All right, I have an edge catcher. And even though I'm not sure how I feel about moving this paint, I'm going to try. I might take my straw first. Break up that white just a little bit. Now I still have, do I have a thumb hold anywhere? I sort of have an edge of canvas down here. I like all that orange. I really don't want to, I don't want to use it, but it would be a very good idea for me to thin the paint out. I think the oranges are the best, my favorite part of this. I think I'm going to put that down and grab a place in the middle so I have much more stability when the paint hits the edge catcher. Which, because the paint is thick, it will provide a seal. I didn't get as much green as I expected, and I got quite a bit of purple, which is pretty much my MO anyway. I'm going to take the paint on the edge and move it down below. And then I'm going to grab one of my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatulas before I turn it to muck. Put it in the painting and use the excess on the edge. In a couple places, in fact. So my Amsterdam paint worked pretty well. Didn't need to be pillow paint. Kind of want to tip it back down this way too. This reminds me of stuff I used to do like years ago. Stuff I really liked. Do I want to pour any of that off? I wish I could get it to go back down and save the orange. Wow, it looks like I'm going to lose a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm hoping against hope that it's just going to hit the edge catcher, create a seal. I'm going to have to do another one of these with the green because the green just didn't happen the way I was expecting it to. I'm going to roll that down by squeezing it, which will also cover the edge at the same time. Now I could pull it away and I would get that paint on the edge catcher and then I could use it. And I may still do that. I think I'm going to take some of it right now, put it on the spots that are missing paint, because that usually works for me pretty well. I'd show you, but I'd lose some stuff and I don't want to. Alright, so now I just have this one area left and that spot, which is probably an illusion. That's pretty cool. Alright, what do you do now? You take your OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula, you rescue the rest of the paint, I'm going to use a little bit more white, very little. Probably even less would have been okay. And I can't ever beat the Jasmine, so I'm going to use it. I think I'm going to like that. And I could go with more orange, but I don't see a lot of this fluorescent pink, so I'm going to use that. And since I'm going that far, I might as well throw a little bit of the Snapdragon Primary Elements in there, which is still not coming out very well, but is still one of my favorite colors, and I will stubbornly and tenaciously attempt to get it. I want Cerulean Blue too. And since it's right here, why don't I just go ahead and do that? Oh, because it's almost closed. Wow. Alright, small spatula. Black and white again. I didn't use any gold. I kind of think I might be getting proficient at the swiping stuff. I might have to cover my edges in a couple places. Way more paint than I needed there, but I can use it to cover my edge, so I'm going to try it. Hopefully without dipping my spatula in. I think most of my edges are covered, and if they're not, I have enough paint left on my surface. Let's see. Almost. A couple little gaps are easy to fix with your finger. I am not one of those who thinks that the edges are as important as the center. And I'm as tidy as I can be, but I'm not as tidy as some people would like me to be. I think anything else that's left here is going to wait until after we're done, because I think I'm going to use a torch. I think that's gorgeous. Here's my timer. I've got 2 minutes to tell you guys I love you, and I hope you come again at 2:15 tomorrow, 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have 31 playlists with 100 videos each on them, and maybe 32 by now. I torched to release the bubbles caught in the paint. My paint pouring recipe is underneath Show More under the video. I probably could have tipped this more. I probably should have tipped it more. But I did one with a lot heavier paint on it yesterday, and I did get a few pieces of crazing where I had used the skewer to make spirals, but it wasn't bad enough for me to complain about, and I love the pattern that I got to save. So that was okay with me. Yes, as I go around, I will find paint that I need. The only thing that's kind of bothering me is that line in the middle. Hard lines are something that doesn't please me very often. And I don't have any spirals. And I have some sort of kind of muck down here, but it's bordered in purple, so it's really okay. I'm thinking that that might be my favorite way to look at this. So I will shimmer it at you and tell you, thank you for the donations through PayPal. They keep me in canvases and Floetrol and GAC 800 and keep bringing tutorials to you guys. And I really appreciate that. Same as the membership helps me purchase art supplies to keep bringing you new tutorials. I want to go all the way down in there. My battery's going to die. Shoot. But look at those cells. I'm not sure when my battery's going to die, so I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you anon. Look under the link tree for the coupon code under the video for 20% off Colourarte that time